Call to order the agenda for the town of Edisto Beach, our regular town council meeting, August 13th, 2020, 6 p.m. The first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation. If you'd stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Our Father, make us an instrument of your grace and wisdom. Weave us into a community showing your power and tenderness. Bless us in our differences and give us the courage to stand together during this troubling time. Let us show our love of our fellow man and share our blessings with the less fortunate, the sick, and the lonely. We also want to offer up our thankfulness for all of our council, administrative staff, and employees who have worked industriously during this observance of CDC guidelines. We are also thankful for and celebrate the lives and civic services of Jimmy Johnson and Laura Sanders. We grieve with the families and friends of these two residents. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
The first order of business is a Starfish Award for the family of Jimmy Johnson. He served on the Construction Board of Appeals, and before that, he was a sheriff's deputy with duty on Edisto Beach for many years and a permanent residence here. So, Ms. Hargis, you'll make sure the family gets this since they could not be here tonight.
Yep.
Thank you. Under old business.
Could we go back to the minutes, please?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I skipped those. We're gonna get out of here early. The next order of business is approval of the regular council meeting minutes of July the 9th, 2020. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the regular minutes from the July 9th. Second.
Have a motion. Have a motion, a second on the floor. Any discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Under old business, we have RFQ 2019-10, architectural service for Edisto Beach Town Hall. On May 14th, 2020, Town Council approved award of the contract to Coast Architects and authorized the town administrator to negotiate and execute said contract. The town was unable to negotiate the terms of the contract, so requests council withdraw award of the contract to Coast Architects and award the contract to the next highest ranked firm of Rosenblum Co. Architects and execute the agreement. Is there a motion?
I move we withdraw the award of contract to Coast Architects and award the contract to the next highest ranked firm of Rosenblum Co-Architects and execute the agreement.
Is there a second?
I second.
And who seconded that?
Mine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Under new business, we have emergency ordinance number 2020-22, COVID-19. The emergency ordinance 2020-21 was approved July the 1st, 2020, and expires August 30th, 2020. Request council extend the state of emergency and continue the face covering requirement. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve emergency ordinance number 2020-22, COVID-19.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second on the floor. There's Ms. Smyer made the motion. Ms. Hornsby seconded the motion. Discussion. If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Under the Personnel Manual, the Municipal Association of South Carolina recommends the Personnel Manual be reviewed by a labor attorney every 5 years. Request council extend this, request council approve the new manual dated August 13, 2020, and revoke the old manual. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the new manual dated August 13, 2020, and revoke the old manual.
A second.
I have a motion, a second on the floor, discussion.
This has been through the guidance of our attorneys and
Yes.
pretty much cleaning up what we've had in the past.
Yeah, we have a labor attorney that Iris is in contact with on a regular basis for labor issues. That he drafted the original agreement and he edited this one, and then Iris sent it to me and I reviewed it as well. So,
The labor attorney is Mr. Stern.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Kevin Stern.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item C, 2020-2023 Edisto Beach Strategic Plan. Request council consideration and approval of the town department's strategic plans for financial year 2020-23. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the Edisto Beach strategic plan.
A second.
Thank you, Ms. Meyer and Ms. Hornsby. Any discussion?
I would just like to thank administration and, our, town employees for how well written this plan is.
Thank you. On their behalf. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Item D. Change order number 4, Mitchell Construction renovation of the fire barracks. And it greatly pleases me to read this. Request council consideration and approval of change order number 4 on the renovation of the fire barracks with Mitchell Construction for a $320 reduction. The amended contract price after the decrease is $118,960. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the change order number 4, Mitchell Construction Company renovation of fire barracks.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. Discussion. Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item E. Recurring special event, 30th Annual Edisto Christmas Parade. The Edisto Island Chamber of Commerce requests council approval to hold the 30th Annual Edisto Christmas Parade on December the 12th, 2020. Setup will begin at 1 p.m. The parade route is along Palmetto Boulevard from the 600 block to Violet. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the recurring special event 30th annual Edisto Christmas Parade.
Is there a second?
Second.
I'd like to ask, because none of us have a crystal ball, and we don't know exactly what conditions will be then. I certainly hope we can have the Christmas parade. I want to have the Christmas parade, but I'd like a provision in there that simply states that it's depending on conditions and observation of CDC guidelines at the time.
I don't have a problem with
Jane, I lost that last part. Can you repeat that?
I can do it. Patty, it was, depending on conditions and observation of CDC guidelines.
Okay, that would that include,
Well, that doesn't include numbers, but conditions would, right?
Yes, it does, and I think that's what we have to do, because none of us know what December's going to bring. And we would like to know that we're having the Christmas parade, because we need some Christmas cheer. But, if it is prohibitive at the time, I'd like that provision in there if that meets council approval.
Okay.
Would, you like to amend your motion to include that?
Yes, I'd like, to amend my motion to include the language as stated.
Is there a second to that?
Second.
All right, and it meets council approval? Ms. Hornsby, Ms. Meyer, does that meet your approval?
It does.
Great. Okay, then I will call the motion, which the original motion with the provision added. Any further discussion on it? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Item F, recurring special event, 2020 Fall Festival. The Edistone Island Chamber of Commerce requests council approval to hold the 2020 Fall Festival on October 17, 2020 at Jumper Road from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. Requests 4 to 6 trash receptacles. Request Jungle Road be closed from the intersection of Highway 174 to the end of Palmetto Plaza. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the reoccurring special event 2020 Fall Festival.
Is there a second?
Second?
Discussion.
Yes. This one
I
might be a
think
little
this should
tough.
be,
Yes.
not be passed, because the Art Guild has just canceled their fall show, which is not very far distant in time from this. I think we're taking a chance that we don't need to take.
I have to say, Ms. Hornsby, I agree with you that this is probably not the year to do that, because conditions are not like the market where it's fairly controlled. This has the potential with the different egresses and ingresses to get out of control, and no one person or 2 or 3 people could possibly monitor this. So I'm in agreement with Ms. Hornsby. Anybody else?
I think one of the concerns I had was if we're doing the Wednesday markets, what's the difference? But after looking at it, there's a huge difference between what we're doing here and the market. The market is very spread out. The vendors are spread out. The people are spread out. They're there. They're masked. And I think this one, knowing how this festival is really kind of all piled in one little place. And it's a little bit too close.
Any further discussion?
I agree. I think it is very close there, and people do tend to bunch up together on that street. And so I think it would be a good idea to postpone this one.
All right,
I agree.
all right, then I have a motion on the floor to approve it. And I have a second. So I will call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying aye. That permit is denied, but I want to congratulate Chelsea on making an attempt to do all the activities that she possibly can. She's new to the job, and I think she's doing a really good job. So applause, Chelsea. Okay, under Zoning Board of Appeals, there's 2 vacancies. The terms of Bill Davies and Marcy Cook expire on September the 1st, 2020. Request council consideration and approval to advertise these vacancies. Would this be, would this be in August? Are they going to continue until it can be filled in the September meeting?
Yes, because our council meeting comes before their September, after their term expires, but before the meeting in September. So the positions will be filled before their September meeting.
All right, so it's important that we fill these in September. So if you know anybody that's interested, we need to make sure that they get it in so that we have a pool of people.
Do we know if either of them are, eligible to run again?
They are both eligible. Mr. Davies has decided he does not want to apply again, but Ms. Cook does.
Okay, so,
Mhm.
I move that we approve, advertising these vacancies.
Thank you. Is there a
Second.
second? Have a motion, second on the floor, discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, under the Accommodation Tax Advisory Board, the Edisto Art Guild, Art in Public Places, $9,605. This was originally submitted for consideration on February 6, 2020. Questions arose from the board about the public funds being used to improve privately owned property. While the board supported the idea of art in public places and the mural, they asked the Art Guild to pursue the possibility of other finances or of the mural being done pro bono by local artists. In the alternative, the Art Guild should investigate all legal tools that other communities have used to protect the public investment when public funds are invested in privately owned property. With the addition of such legal protections, the Art Guild could then resubmit the mural application to the ATAX board. The Art Guild has resubmitted this request for $9,605 to commission a painting on the fence behind Bilo on Jumbo Road, owned by Mr. Robert Redmond. The ATAX board approved the application from the Art Guild with stipulation that the contract with the Art Guild, Mr. Redford, and the town of Edisto Beach be executed prior to the distribution of funds. The vote was 4-4. That's awkward, but 4 were for it and 2 were opposed. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that can I make a motion to defer this till next month?
That's perfectly,
The reason being is I think we need to be real careful about public funding on private property. There are, I think, some other options we can look at as far as, how to display it, maybe other ideas that we can use from other towns that are doing the same thing in different ways. And the other thing is I'm a little concerned about the money, about the price of it. That's, with the way our year's been anyway with ATAX, and I'm just a little concerned about, spending that much money. I think there may be some other options and other ways to do this. So I'd make a motion to defer until next month until we can explore those options.
is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and second. And the staff here has been very diligent about the concerns and answering them for the ATAX board. They are looking at and have information about not affixing it to private property, but using a special hanging system that would be done on panels. And so if Bilo comes in and decides to renovate, it can be moved, like to the Heritage Building or whatever.
Not to mention hurricanes.
Oh, hurricanes. And if one panel is done with graffiti, one can be taken down and repaired. You don't have to redo the whole thing. And they would, to my mind, have much more longevity because they're not painted on the wood. And so, and I understand or feel like my idea that to do it this way would actually be less expensive. I think it would be an enhancement, something to, when you first come in, to see, because it's very tastefully executed. But I would like to defer it until we get firm information that we can consult with the Art Guild and the ATAX. Is there a motion?
You got a motion in a second.
Oh, thank you. Any further discussion? I'll call the vote. All those in favor of deferring the art in public places this month, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item B, the Edisto Chamber of Commerce off-season marketing, $50,000. The Chamber of Commerce submitted an application for $50,000 for off-season marketing. Backup includes prior year marketing samples and costs. That was in your folder. The ATAX Board approved the application by a vote of 6-0. Is there a motion?
I move we approve the Edisto Chamber of Commerce off-season marketing for $50,000.
Is there a second?
I second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor, discussion. I think this year we're good with this. I think we do have to, in the future, monitor how long this virus goes on. Exactly where we are, because, we put a good bit back for beach nourishment. And for other purposes. And so I'm in agreement with this year, but I think we need to take a serious look at some of these costs before next year. So I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Under the Edisto Beach Fire Department, $5,504. The fire department submitted an application to the ATAX Board for $5,504 for the purpose of furnishing the barracks that are being remodeled. The ATAX Board approved the application by a vote of 6-0. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the Edisto Beach Fire Department, furnishing.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. If you notice in your notes, it's for their sleeping quarters, and it's simply bunk beds, chest, and a wardrobe. So, hearing any more discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Do we have any public comments, Ms. Hill?
No, ma'am.
No public comments were submitted prior to the meeting, so we will go to executive session. The receipt of legal advice, where the legal advice relates to a pending, threatened, or potential claim or other matters covered by the attorney-client privilege related to the Wharton Smith change order, South Carolina Code 30-4-70A2. Upon returning to open session, action may be taken by the council on items discussed during the executive session. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Move to go into executive session, this item only.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now in executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to exit executive session. Discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor of exiting executive session, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No action needs to be taken upon the matter discussed in executive session this evening. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Yes.
Second.
I have a motion, second to adjourn. Discussion? If not, I'll call the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?